Hello everyone, welcome to the first video on this channel. In today's video I'll be making a tier list of all the Eeveelutions, including Eevee itself. I decided to do this with a tier list instead of a top 10, since I'm mostly planning to do top 10s, as there are not 10 Eeveelutions yet. However, probably this year or next year, something like that, we'll get Generation 10, and it would be really nice to see more of these Eeveelutions, because just like me, I think many people consider them their favorites. I will kind of do them in release order, although I'm not too educated on my Pokemon history. In fact, I have not played all games yet. It's something I'm working on in the background while I do these early few videos. So, yeah. Starting off the list, we have Eevee itself. I'm just going to place it in A tier. It's really cute, it's fluffy, it's an useful Pokemon to catch early. If it's in a Pokemon game, you usually can't miss by catching it. It's oh yeah, by the way, this is my favorite Eeveelutions, ranked basically. This isn't a competitive analysis, I'm not a competitive player, just for your information. But yeah, it's cute, it's fluffy, I would definitely want a plushie of it at some point. I mean, it's just adorable design. It doesn't bring itself to the S tier, it's not special, but it's a really nice start, and yeah, one of the reasons these are awesome. Now, a controversial one, Vaporeon. This Pokemon's reputation kind of has been slandered by the copypasta, the famous hey guys, did you know? If you don't know that one, you're one of the lucky few. But that said, I do really like it. It's not one of my favorites, but I do like it a lot. So I think a B tier is justified. I believe, especially early on, its move pool wasn't the greatest, but maybe I'm just bad at Pokemon. I mean, I know I'm bad at Pokemon, but it might be related. But it has a really nice design, it's cool, it has some clear fish elements, while still definitely being one of the Eevees, or well, the Eeveelutions. And I kind of like what I did with this one. They started out strong with the first Eeveelutions. Next one will be Jolteon. And I'm placing it in A tier. That's a bit of a high placement maybe, but sometimes simplicity is key. It has a very simple design. But that's what I like about it. This almost seems like something that could actually exist. You know? Yeah, it still looks great. It's very iconic. And it's also a very great Pokemon to use. I definitely used it. And I think it was Fire Red that I used this. Maybe Soul Silver, I don't know. Not entirely sure, but I definitely used it at some point. It just goes hard. I mean, all of these do. I definitely will be using an Eeveelution team in some game at some point. Probably Violet, as that's the easiest to do it, but yeah. I really like its design, simple, yeah, it's still good. It's better than the base Eevee even, so A tier. Then we have Flareon, and that's my first D tier. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. So it's a D tier for me. It just does nothing for me. It's not objectively bad, but if I compare it to the others above it, yeah, I think it's less of a cool design. It's also never an option I'm really considering when it comes to Eeveelution. Always looking at the other ones, never at this one. So it's not my personal favorite, so it's going in D tier. Next up we have Espeon, and that's just going to be the first S tier for me. This might be considered a very high placement, and insane to some even, but I really like Psychic as a typing. I really like the design of this one. It once again almost looks like a real cat. Or, well, it's supposed to be a cat. It almost looks like it could exist, you know. It's also very cute. I really like how it looks. And it also was one of the best Psychics at the time, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but I at least do know kicking ass with it. Together with Umbreon, they are your starter Pokemon Colosseum. One of the reasons I really like Colosseum, starting with some of the coolest Eeveelutions as your starter Pokemon, was just such a nice and cool thing. XD, the sequel, even gives you a regular Eevee at the start, I believe. Definitely want to play that at some point, but yeah. It's a somewhat simple design, yet still amazing. It's a very great Pokemon to use. I usually restrict myself to not reuse Pokemons over the games. I've been playing through them all the recent year or two. Otherwise, I would be using Espeon in every game. It's just that good. It's easy to get. You just have to be nice to your Pokemon. Be a proper trainer. And then it just evolves by itself. And that's a decent enough natural nice move pool. I mean, you're using it as a Psychic, get good Psychic moves. Yeah, I really like it. Umbreon for me is top of A tier, which might be ranking it relatively low compared to where others would place it. Visually, it's very nice. In practice, though, I don't like it as much. Honestly, its visual design is the best part of it. The actual gameplay of it, yeah. I believe it tries to be a bit too tanky. Usually I find it lacking in comparison to Espion. And that came out at around the same time. They're about as easy to get as each other, so it's a direct comparison. But it's still very, very cool. And I like the design. Contrast always goes hard, so the black with yellow is something I really like. The red eyes fit on top of it as well. But there are better evolutions out there. Now, these got introduced in Generation 4, I believe. The Leafeon and Glaceon, I believe it's called. I forgot the name for some reason. Wow. Glaceon I had never used. I think I'll be using it when I play Violet with DLCs. I might use it as my ice Pokemon. But yeah, Leafeon I'm actually currently using in my run of Ultramoon. I gotta say, Grass is probably my least favorite typing. Especially with a lot of the Pokemon visually. I don't like a lot of, the way a lot of these Pokemon look. Yet I absolutely love the design of this one. I think that places it very high for me. It might not be my personal favorite design, but I really like what I did. If you would ask me to design a grass-based evolution, I would not be able to tell you how one could do that. That he absolutely fucking nailed it. They did really, really well. Yeah, for that it's just amazing. It's a shame that in most Pokemon games it's a bit hard to get from what I know, but then again I'm not the most knowledgeable player. At least it was easy in Ultramoon. I messed up the evolution once, got Espion by accident, oh no. So now I have I had to recatch an Eevee and then go back and actually do it properly, but yeah. It's a really cool design, it's somewhat simplistic yet still unique. Yeah. It's something I like about the evolution in general. I will not be ranking any of them really low. Next we have Glaceon, I think that's another... It's a bit of a hard one to place, honestly. I think this is the C tier for me. It's okay. I don't dislike what I did with it, but I don't love it either. Part of the reason why I never got one, it just never stood out enough to me. Icing is also Ice is also very awkward typing, what I've noticed. Although it's good against stuff like dragons. Ice was good against dragons. I'm so bad at Pokemon typing, seriously. What good wonder how I even finish these games at times. But yeah, Ice is a bit of an awkward typing at times. But yeah, I do think it's a cool one. Still, it has a lot of competition. And I think the other designs rank above it. And then we got Sylveon, and that's for me undoubtedly the best one. It's my second or third favorite Pokemon. I have to really retake my priorities on that one to decide which I really like. I actually had a hoodie of Sylveon a really long while ago. I think it's peak Pokemon design. Honestly, I could knock down everything about a tier and it would stand on its own in S tier. I really, really like Sylveon. It has a very cute design. It's very, very unique compared to the other ones. Not saying the other ones are bad or anything. It really stands out in a positive way. I really like the color palette, which I later figured out, wait, those are the trans color for Pride Flag colors, but then again, not that I mind, not that I care, I mean, yeah. Just a coincidence, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I remember playing Moon, which was my first Pokemon after Sapphire and Colosseum. Yeah, there was such a huge gap in my personal experience. Training my Eevee, taking great care of it, because, wow, Eevee is cute, you know. And suddenly it evolved, thinking I was going to get Espion or something. And then suddenly Sylveon came out, and I really, really liked it from the get-go. It's also, Fairy is a really nice typing as well. I just really like this Pokemon visually. It's really, really cute. I like it. It's an adorable Pokemon. Once again, if I had no restrictions, my teams would always run it. But yeah, that would kind of make the games lame, wouldn't it? Always running the same Pokemon. But yeah, honestly, I could create an own tier for Sylveon. I really like Sylveon. So yeah, this is my ranking. None of them made it into the F tier. The only one that's a bit mediocre is Flareon. So yeah, that's my ranking of all the evolutions. What's your top 3 evolutions? Let me know down in the comments. And I hope you liked this video. I'm not the most competitive player. I'm not the most experienced player. I'm still finishing Ultra Moon, then I still need to play Sword. And I'll probably be replaying Violet because I never touched the DLC. They ran it out when I finished the game. And then I got all the mainline games covered at least. Well, when there were remakes available, I played the remakes, but that gives you perspective for this channel. What to expect from my content. I hope you all enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Goodbye.